you can make almost 2 times more with Thor nodes versus strong nodes. Strong nodes have been around and they have stuck around for the last few months now, when everything else has been trending downwards. Strong tokens have actually performed pretty well. They've held up their price. Thor nodes were brought to my attention, so I wanted to look into them, and I actually found that you can be making 2 times more with the same dollar investment when you invest in Thor versus strong nodes. With the pricing changes that are coming to Thor, the reward changes. They're actually changing the rewards right now as of this video, starting on, one of them already happened for the Odin, and then going through till March. They're actually changing the rewards and the reward structure. But even with those reward structures changing, you're still better off with 2 of the nodes from Thor than you are with strong. 2 of them are not going to make sense. It'd make more sense to get strong, but 2 of them, if you're just going for ROI, it makes more sense for you to actually get these nodes versus getting the strong node. Now, there's a lot of different things that make these projects different, and I'm going to go over the things that I like about each one, and then I actually made a sheet to show you the math of the ROI from each of the different nodes. Now, there's 4 Thor nodes, there's 1 strong node, so I'm going to go over and compare all the different nodes and which one has the best ROI. So the number one thing that I like about Thor that strong does not have is a source of income. So this is literally the difference between a Ponzi scheme and not a Ponzi scheme. So the thing that Thor is doing is that when you actually make the nodes, part of the money goes to the treasury. That's the same as strong. But what Thor is doing is actually investing some of this money into DeFi protocols, other projects, and then allocating the returns that they're making from these other projects back to the people who are investing. Now you can actually see right here, they actually have treasury vote, where they get to vote on where they want to invest the treasury money. This one just happened on, I think it was on the 7th. Here's a post from the 6th in their Discord under announcements, where they're choosing between 3 different projects. So they want to allocate $250,000 from the treasury into these projects so that the project can make more money to pay out the actual investors. Another thing I like is that they operate on the Avalanche network, which is cheaper fees than Strong. Strong is on Ethereum, which makes it very expensive to pay the monthly fees. With Thor, you get to pay with AVAX and on the AVAX network, which makes it a lot cheaper. They also have nodes on the Phantom network, and they were actually working with some of the Phantom developers to make sure that they did everything right, which is really cool to see because Phantom is a huge player, a huge project working with Thor node. I think most of the devs on the team are anonymous, but not all of them are. This guy is not. He's showing pictures of himself. Now, this could just be him finding random images online of some random dude sharing that, but I like to believe that this is actually him, and he is very open and public about who he is. Now, when it comes to Strong, there's a few things I like. The team is very public. They are always on Twitter. They're always trying to help people out. People know who they are. They're very helpful. They are on Ethereum, which is bad because the barrier to entry is higher. But this also makes it so that when people do get into the project, they actually go in with more money because it costs more to actually set up the nodes. Another thing that I like about Strong is that it has been around longer. It's been around for a long time. As you can see here on the graph, they actually came out in 2020. They've been around this whole time. They're not at all-time highs, but we've seen a dip in the market as a whole. That just tells me it's a good time to buy. It could go lower, it could go higher. No one really knows. But Strong has been around for a long time, and the longer a project is around, the more likely it is to stick around for even longer. When you make a Strong node, you're going to need 10 of the tokens to actually make the node. This is a distribution of what happens to those tokens when you actually make the node. And once you make that node, you're going to be rewarded about 0.09 Strong tokens every single day per node that you bought. With the new structure of Thor, this is how much you have to buy for each of the nodes. They have 4 different nodes. They have Heimdall, Freya, Thor, and Odin. For this one, you need to actually put in 1.25 Thor to actually get the node, and then you're going to be rewarded 0.008 Thor every single day. That is 0.6 0.4% every single day that you're making back off your initial investment. With Freya, you put in 6.25 Thor, then you get 0.05 back, which is 0.8% daily. With Thor, you put in 12.5 Thor, you get 0.144 back every single day, which is 1.15% every day. With Odin, you buy a node with 78 Thor, 78.125 Thor, and then you get 1.2 Thor back, which is 1.3% daily. Now I have this sheet of the profits and everything, and we need to go over this. But first I want to go over some of the things that I don't like about the projects. Thor, they have all this information on their site, and none of it's working, which is, I don't like. And I don't really like that most of their team is anonymous. That always sketches me out. Right now, Thor is restructuring their price, which I'm scared that they're going to have to keep doing this to make it sustainable. I'm hoping they're only doing that because the market has been going down and they have to. The thing I really don't like about Strong is the only money they have to pay out the users and the investors is the money from future investors, which is really scary. That's a house of cards that's going to come crumbling down at some point, and it's just a matter of when. Okay, so let me break this down for you. But first off, let's just go over this. These are the only values that actually matter. I mean, really, all you need to do is look at this one, which is after 1 year, what is your revenue going to be if you invest $10,000? So you can see here very quickly that the Heimdall and the Freya don't make sense compared to Strong. Thor is a newer project, and you're going to be making less money with these nodes, so I would never buy these. But if you do trust Thor and you want a good ROI, either the Thor or the Odin nodes are the way to go, because you're going to make either 3.2x what you invested or 3.8x what you invested. So that's literally twice as good, almost twice as good as the Strong nodes. So to go down, let's go through this. This is the price per token right now, the time that I'm filming this. So it could change, it could go up, it could go down. Crypto never stays the same. Now to make a node, you need this many tokens. So the initial investment to get a Strong node is this much money, $4,600. For the Heimdall, you need $111, $550 for Freya, $1,000 for Thor, $7,000 for Odin. You're gonna get about this many tokens per day, which is this much money per day. But the only thing that really matters is percentage, right? Because you could put your money into another project to make a better percentage. You're gonna do that. The dollar amount doesn't really matter. It just all depends on how much money you put in and how much money you're making out, and the percentage, the relation and the percentage of the monies. So the percent of the token that you make back per day is this. So if we look at, and then I go through the whole thing for month and year, yada, 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 none of this really matters. The only thing that really matters is 1 year profit, and then compare that to your initial investment. After 1 year, your profit, not the revenue, the profit is going to be 230% of the initial investment. So after 1 year, you're going to make $15,000 with one Strong token if the price stays the same. But if you subtract your initial investment, then that comes down to $10,000 profit, which is 230% of the initial cost. You make 130% with the Heimdall, Freya about 200%, Thor about 320%, and Odin about 370%. So if we look at months to break even, you know, this data is also valuable because we can see in about 3 months, we're going to break even with Thor, 2.6 months, we're going to break even with Odin, and 3.7 months is how long it takes to break even with the Strong node. I'm a numbers guy, so I wanted to put this all in front of me in a sheet, and I thought you guys might find this valuable as well. Thor is newer than Strong, which is a benefit to Strong. Strong is not investing in anything to actually create an income, unlike Thor, so that's a benefit to Thor. So if you want to go strictly off of ROI, I would use this data right here. Odin is the best investment, then Thor is second after the pricing changes. So I think I'm going to cop a couple of the Thor nodes when I have some money to do that. The 3-month return is pretty good, and then it's going to be all profit after that. I hope I explained this in a way that made sense to you. It made sense to me, and I think that Thor is a solid project. I want to watch it a little bit longer and make sure, you know, everything is looking good and on the up and up before I really invest. But I think I am going to get a few of the Thor nodes, maybe even an Odin one if I have the money to put into that. Hope you did learn something here. Definitely consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.